Welcome back to a new episode of The Big Three, our monthly podcast where we break down the biggest stories shaping influencer marketing and the creator economy. I'm your host, Ceci Carloni, and as always, I'm here with my co-host, Ahene, founder of Net Influencer. Nice seeing you again. How's everything going?
Things are going well. Happy to be back on the West Coast. Was in New York for an event with one of our partners 2 weeks ago where it was like 12 degrees, and then went right back to Chicago the week after where it was 6 degrees. Yeah, it's 73 outside right now. So
You should come to Argentina. It's like 38 degrees Celsius outside. The AC is not working, so that's fun. But I have my mate here, so I'm ready to tackle the rest of the day. I'm actually very excited for today's episode. I think we have a great lineup of three amazing stories. So if you're ready, we can kick things off.
do it.
Awesome. Well, as I mentioned, for this episode, we have three amazing stories. I actually wanted to start with two of our recent roundtables because I think they give a good, clear snapshot of what people across the industry are feeling right now. And then we'll wrap things up with a story about a platform update. So to start with, we have the first roundtable we did, our first roundtable of the year. This one was about what the creator economy needs more of this year. We reach out to executives and professionals within the industry and ask them exactly that. What do you want to see more of in the creator economy in 2026? We received 92 quotes. And what really stood out for me was how often the answers circle back to the same idea, which was actually like building things that last. People talked about, wanting more long-term partnerships, more clarity around performance, more creator freedom, and more systems that treat creators like businesses, not just viral machines. I'm curious, Ni, when you read the article, saw the responses, and the consistency across so many voices, what first came to mind? What do you think the story says about where the industry is headed?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the industry continues to evolve. Obviously, the industry saw a lot of consolidation over the last 2 years, but the same challenge remains, in 2026 that existed previously, which is how do brands work with creators and agencies to be able to get attention on the algorithm?
Yeah.
I think that's the entire reason why the entire space exists. And there is an understanding that to be able to do that, you need to be able to work with creators on an ongoing basis to build those relationships, to understand what works, to be able to test and learn. And eventually, when you do have something that's successful, you can apply a paid strategy to amplify it. And so, nobody necessarily said that specifically, but when I look at the feedback and the direction of having long-term relationships, it's really about spending enough time with the specific strategy to understand what works and what doesn't, so you can actually drive the type of results you need to be able to move forward with driving your ROI, your awareness, or whatever your KPI is with a marketing campaign.
Absolutely. I personally wasn't surprised to see this kind of alignment across the all participants. I think it's clear the industry already knows what it needs to grow in a more sustainable and scalable way, which is less with guesswork, more intention, and again, building things that last for an industry that's not going anywhere. And I think that actually ties in really well with the next story, because when you start to talk about things, building things that last, you run into the things that, as you said, Nate, don't work, or where the system starts to break. So for another roundtable, we reach out again to people across the industry and ask them how they're managing creators' contracts at scale. And I think that really that's the key part, the scale part. But I'll get to that in a minute. So for this roundtable, we asked them what tools or processes they are using and what challenges are they still finding hard to solve. And what came through pretty clear is that contracts used to be paperwork, but now they're infrastructure. Teams talk about contracts getting more complex much faster than the tools they're using to manage them. Many teams also mention still piecing things together across different tools. And a lot of teams said they're still relying on PDF, email back and forth, and very manual processes. So I think the main takeaway from the roundtable was that there's no clear share system for how contracts are handled, and it really feels like another opportunity for the creator economy to step forward and mature how this part of the workflow is being handled. What do you think, Nee? What do you think? Do you think this is something that will actually change in 2026, or are we still having this same conversation a year from now?
Yeah, we're definitely going to be still having the same conversation a year from now. We've done a number of these creator stack type inquiries
Yeah,
across everything from discovery to negotiations to contracts and other aspects of the creator stack. And
and payments. Yeah,
what's clear is the fact that while there are systems out there that do everything, from A to Z, that the fact remains that for each creator agency, for each brand, people want to roll their own stack. And so if there's going to be a major change in 2026, what I anticipate is, as opposed to going to a large creator marketing platform and saying, hey, I'm going to sign up for your large creator marketing platform that does everything from discovery to payments to negotiations to measurement, we're going to start to see best of breed
yeah,
aspects of it, right? And so Lumino is a perfect example. They focus just on payments, and it's an entire infrastructure just on payments. And whether you want to use ClickUp or you want to use a different influencer marketing platform for project management, you can use Lumino for payments. And so I think there's an opportunity for somebody to come in and provide a best in breed platform specifically for contract negotiations. Now, whether that's something that lives on top of an existing system like a DocuSign or is built specifically for the creator economy, I don't know. But what
yeah.
this is showing us is that people want to be able to roll their own. There's no universal standard that exists. And so if somebody wants to come and add value to the ecosystem, figuring out one small piece of the creator ecosystem and having that being as extensible as possible is probably the biggest opportunity for somebody to come in and create some
Absolutely.
universalization in this regard.
Absolutely. For me, I want to go back to something that I mentioned earlier. For me, the it really comes down to scale, because contracts can be easy to manage when you're just working with a few creators. But once the programs start to scale and to grow to 50 or even 100 creators, it quickly becomes a real bottleneck. So up next, story number 3, which is a platform update. As I anticipated at the beginning of the episode, Google announced a new creator search feature inside its ads platform for YouTube partnerships. The feature itself is new, but Google has been expanding their creator and partnerships tool for the past few years as brands shift more budget toward creator-led YouTube campaigns. Creator partnerships was built to support discovery, outreach, and measurement, and now this new creator search builds on that by adding keyword-based discovery and structure filters. What this really shows, I think, is that Google is clearly pushing to centralize creator partnerships inside ads rather than treating them as a separate workflow. When you see creator discovery and partnerships living directly inside a paid media platform like Google Ads, how do you read that, Nate?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is indication that Google understands that YouTube is probably one of their most powerful and most AI resistant assets, right? And so, Google monetizes, as everybody knows, through advertisements. Creator partnerships, they happen kind of outside of the advertising realm. But as I mentioned before, there's a convergence happening. There's a convergence happening between organic, creator, and paid. And tools like Google's new creative search
Absolutely.
tools that lives inside Google's ad creator partnerships beta, it allows brands to quickly find the source of creators they want to partner with to be able to add them to their organic campaigns, which then will give them the opportunity to do what Google calls leverage Google's creator partnership ads, which are pretty much Google's version of creator whitelisting. And so again, this underscores this convergence that we're seeing between organic, creator, and paid. And it allows brands to more easily access creators that they may not know of by using keywords to find creators that can be in close alignment with their brands. Now, I haven't
Awesome.
seen anybody necessarily use this program yet. I'm excited to see what sort of case studies tumble out, but it's an indication that even Google knows that, the easier it is for brands to work with creators, the more likelihood they're going to be able to invest paid dollars to promote those partnerships. So I
Yeah.
love this. It's great for the industry.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how platforms keep adapting as brands continue to shift more budget to creator marketing. Those were the three stories that really stood out for us this month. What the industry is asking for, where things break at scale, and how platforms are responding. Anything else that you want to share with our audience?
I think this is excited to see where we end up in 2026. The year's already off to a great start.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's a wrap for us. We'll be back next month with another breakdown of what actually mattered. This is the Big Three by Influence Weekly. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.